Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_Access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, here to talk some Packers, talk some draft. As we're closing in, how many days away are we now, Tim? Are we 8 days away? Is that correct, sir?
Josh Jacobs, days away. That's right.
I'm so excited, man. I found where we're getting the cannolis. All right. I couldn't find any cannolis, any Italian restaurants in Green Bay. They all had tiramisu, which I got to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Right up there with cannolis for me. But cannolis are going to be a good draft day snack. So we're going to have cannolis in the house. Probably got to get them from Costco, Tim. That's okay, though. We'll pull
That's
that
all
out.
right. We can handle that.
I'll take that. Scouted that one out in Bellevue. We're going to see if we can make it as easy as possible. I may have to pay you a little loot to run down there and grab us some. So,
hey, anything for cannolis, man. No worries.
I'm looking around at pizza joints too. We'll probably have some pizza delivered in. So there's a couple of different places caught my attention. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's
looking forward to it, man. I can't believe it. We're like a week away, and this is awesome.
Yeah, and I tell you, man, once we get up there, once that plane touches down on Wednesday, I'm going to try to look at my watch every minute to make it last as long as possible.
Yeah, buddy.
Instead of once in a lifetime thing, man, it's going to be great. So,
for sure.
I know everybody following in the chat. Appreciate everybody making us a part of your evening. If you would hit that like button on the way in, feel free to subscribe to the channel if this is your first time here. Those of you listening on the pod, we also appreciate you. And if you're watching on YouTube and you want to listen in podcast form, just search for Packernet Podcast is all you got to do. Packernet Podcast. That's where you'll find us under that umbrella of Packernet Podcast Network, where you scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you that as well. So anybody who's watching on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just scan that QR code or go to Packernet Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to that. Feel free to give us a 5-star review too as well. We'd greatly appreciate that. So I see everybody in the chat. Prince says 1 in 4K by draft day. Just got 4,100 with a week left to go. That's right. We just passed 4,100 subs here on the channel, and I cannot thank you guys and gals enough for supporting us. Y'all have been awesome from the get-go, and really cool too, because like what's crazy is in the last week, Tim, we had over 16,000 people tune into the show. Okay, it's some fashion or another on the channel. So I've got to get better at just asking people, hey, while you're here, hit that sub button for us, because if half of the people that watch this channel hit sub, man, we would double our numbers in a heartbeat. So again, really, really appreciate everybody supporting us in that regard. And Tim, appreciate your effort along with Emilio and Jacob, and shout out to Jacob. I know he's got some personal issues there with the pup, going through a little stint there, a little sickness. So thoughts and prayers up to Jacob's only born. I'm a dog guy. You guys know how I am. I got a couple German Shepherds and got a little scrap or two that we found in the streets down here in Tennessee. It took him in, and got my brother's dog as well. So we're big dog people, man. It's tough seeing a pup get sick for sure. So
definitely keeping Jacob in our prayers right now.
Definitely. All right, Tim, let's jump into a topic here. I know Emilio will be joining us here shortly as soon as he gets a shirt on. Listen, if you don't want to wear pants,
as well.
If you don't want to wear pants, it's cool. Just keep the camera high is all I got to say. All right, let's don't go no tubing on here, okay? If you guys know what I'm talking about. We ain't trying to have that happen. So, all right, first topic. I'm really excited to hit some of these top 30 visits that came down the pike here. Been absolutely awesome kind of keeping up with it. This is the closest I've kept up with them in any recent draft, but one of the most recent ones, got a super chat. Let me hit this real quick. King Tron, proud to be one of the 4,100 boys, even if a couple are smoking crack with their grandmas. I catch every pod and support best I can. You guys kick. AZZ, I like it. Keeping it correct there. There it is.
Got hold to the wrong stuff.
John, you along with Bates and far too many to even mention all the names, y'all always supporting the show with super chats. We greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you for that. So here we go, boys. Jordan Birch out of Oregon, edge defender. Packers had a top 30 visit with him. Before we dive into the details of it, I'd like to ask y'all right on the front side, without looking at any PFF grades, anything else, And you may not have any foregone conclusions of how you see this prospect, but if you do, does anything grab your attention right off the bat with Jordan Burch out of Oregon?
Run stuffer, probably more than a pass rusher, would be my initial light assessment. I don't know. What do you got on him, Emilio?
I haven't looked at the board yet, just off the basis that Packers were at the pro day. So they got live looks at him. Then, we're going to bring him back in for a 30 visit. I think there's something to that. Either you didn't get enough at the pro day, or you needed, or you just wanted to double check something.
Yeah. I know he's another guy that can play like 3-tech all the way to 7, 7 IU. Yep.
Got it. I did notice that when we searched for it, there was a lot of sites that had him as defensive end as opposed to just edge.
Yeah.
And sometimes what that means, guys, is they can play defensive end in a 34 front, which means he's kind of could be potentially a bigger body guy or maybe more stout against the run. So
better than like a linebacker edge though, Clay, right? I mean, that's where we ran in a little bit with Colin Oliver. I think that Todd brought up on Patreon. Like, you got a linebacker edge. That's more like a Jalen Walker. I know he's going to go fast. I know he's going to go early, but I just, some of those tweeners are tough to deal with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. The Green Bay Packers have reportedly scheduled a top 30 visit with Oregon defensive end Jordan Burch, per team sources, targeting him as a versatile pass rusher in the 2025 NFL Draft. Ranked number 66 on our PTA big board, Burch brings a chiseled 6'4", 279-pound frame with impressive length and athleticism, offering Green Bay a flexible edge defender capable of playing multiple alignments to disrupt opposing offenses. You guys want to see what he looked like in high school here?
Please.
Wait till you see this. I want you to focus on the player on the right, on his left, our right. Get ready for this. How does that even happen in high
school? That's a man among boys there, right there. That's
they special ordered his jersey and said, "Okay, man, you pick your number. We'll get the jersey here." I cannot believe the other one. I mean, you see the scrunchies around the other poor kid. You can see the straps. I mean, this thing is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That poor kid. I bet he's thinking, I'm glad he's on my team.
Yep.
I'm going to try to get in this shot right here. So, number one Packer fan said, is Clay in Wisconsin yet? What the hell's going on out here? Not yet, man. We're touching down on Wednesday. We'll be hit it, Tim. I got to hear it. Hit it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Oh, I was wanting the Brett Favre one.
I hit that one by mistake.
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here? I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
There you go. All right, scouting report coming out of high school. 5-star recruit from Hammond School in Columbia, South Carolina. In the 2020 class, Jordan Burch earned a 98.60 grade from On3, ranking as the number 11 prospect overall in the entire country and the top-ranked edge defender nationally. At 6'5", 250 pounds, he dominated with explosive power and versatility, recording 77 tackles, 22 tackles for a loss, and 9 sacks as a senior, leading Hammond to a third consecutive South Carolina 3A state championship. A two-sport athlete in football and basketball, his athleticism earned him USA Today All-American honors and a captaincy in the 2020 Under Armour All-American game. Burch committed to South Carolina over offers from, listen to these offers here, guys, Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. Viewed as a freak athlete with elite potential. College statistics. Burch's 5-year career across South Carolina and Oregon reflects steady growth, culminating in a breakout 2024. In 2020, at South Carolina, he played 8 games, recording 19 tackles. In 2021, he played 13 games, posting 26 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pass breakup, and an interception as well. That's pretty impressive. Returned that interception, by the way, 61 yards for a pick 6.
No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. In 2020, he started all 13 games, recording 60 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 3 pass breakups, earning honorable mention All-SEC. Transferring to Oregon in 2023, he played 14 games, posting 34 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 pass breakup, earning honorable mention All-Pac-12. And then in 2024, he played in 10 games, exploding for 31 tackles, 8.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 pass breakups, earning third-team All-Big Ten despite missing games due to a knee injury. Career totals ended up being 58 games, 170 tackles, 16 sacks, 1 interception, which was a pick 6, 10 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble. My man was dominating. Now, PFF had him listed at 6'6", 295, so that's why you're seeing that defensive end tag in some of these mock-ups, these write-ups here. So PFF, man, it was just a story of steady growth. Starting in 2020, 61.1, 68.2, 72.4, 73.1, and then last year peaked at 77.6. What you're seeing is exactly what Greg Cosell calls an ascending player entering the league, right? So pass rush grade, 81.3, run defense grade, 68.1, with that overall defensive grade of a 77.6. Moving along, the detailed scouting report on him. Entering the draft. This is from Dane Brugler, a 2-year starter at Oregon. Birch was the field side defensive end. That means the wide side of the formation. Okay, so if they're on a left hash from the offensive perspective, he lined up on the wide side of the field over on the right from the offensive perspective. Let's see. It says, the field side defensive end and defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoils. I hope I'm saying that right. Lupo. Mm-hmm. Multiple fronts, lining up mostly wide outside the tackle, 7 or 9 tech. So he is one of those wide techs for sure. And sliding inside a 3 or a 5 tech on some sub packages. So when they went to a pass rushing set, what we would refer to like in maybe a NASCAR package, he actually kicked inside from a 3 to a 5. That's really interesting. A former top 10 overall recruit in the 2020 class, ahead of other 5 stars such as Bijan Robinson, Will Anderson, and Jalen Carter coming out of high school. That's wild. He spent 3 seasons with his home state Gamecocks before transferring to Oregon for his final 2 years. Birch is somewhat of a one-trick pony as a pass rusher who creates pocket push with power, although he has the athletic traits to be more if he improves his setup and secondary moves. He needs to be more explosive with his hands to shed blocks in the run game, but he showed much improved awareness and finishing skills on the 2024 tape. Overall, Birch is a smooth edge rusher in a defensive tackle's frame. That sounds pretty damn good, boys. Overall, Birch is a smooth edge rusher in a defensive tackle's frame.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like
thick.
It sounds like he's thick, Coach Aff. I agree. It says he probably will never be a star in the league, but he has a high floor talent with his NFL size, power, and movements. He projects as a scheme versatile base end, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he has a similar NFL trajectory to that of John Franklin Myers. What's your all's thoughts so far before I get into the strengths of his game here?
I kind of like the acknowledgement that he's kind of a one-trick pony when it comes to the pass rush, yet he wins with power. And we were talking about that a few shows ago. You know, it's tough to teach power. You know, so if you're a power guy, they can work on hand technique. They can work on some pass rush moves with him. So, you know, if that's kind of a knock on his game, I think it's, you know, the best of a negative situation. At least he's not a straight up finesse guy with no power, you know?
Right.
And the fact that, Tim, on those NASCAR packages, they're down, you know, pass rush definite situations, bringing them inside, being able to still have that speed but strength to beat a guard on a pass rush, and not having to worry, you know, obviously as much about the run. All right, kind of turn it loose and go to work on somebody on the inside and see if you can't get there. I like that.
Yeah, or at least blow up the pocket, something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Again, we've got kind of an early 3rd round grade according to our big board. So if you can get him 3rd round or later, man, that might be the way to go for edge, right? Or who knows if he's hanging around 4th or 5th round somehow, some way.
That'd be real high value in those kind of late in the draft rounds.
Here's the strengths. Dense, good-looking athlete who carries weight well on his NFL-ready body. Loose jointed for 279 pounds with terrific short area movements. Put athleticism on display on 36-yard run to convert direct snap fake punt. He took the direct snap on a fake punt against Maryland in 2024. 36 yards. That's what's something.
Might need to watch that one.
Man, forget Tucker Kraft running the tush push. Let's put him in there, right? So, preferred pass rush tactic is power to disrupt balance or put blockers in reverse. Also uses violent club rip and cross chop when attacking the corner. Naturally left-handed. Has functional length and upper body strength as edge setter to bench press bodies off of him. Able to flip hips, chase and contain wide run attempts. Physical thrown down tackler. long arms help him finish. 2 seasons at Oregon, he had 65 tackles and only 2 missed tackles in 2 years at Oregon. Finds passing lanes at the line of scrimmage, 11 career passes defended. We kind of talked about that, right? I think the number we had was 10, so Dane Brugler's saying 11. That's even better. But one of those dudes that's just got that natural ability of, hey, if I'm not getting to the QB, I'm taking that throwing lane away. And it says his production has improved each season, which we talked about, kind of an ascending player here. Injury and character concerns. Burch has been mostly durable, playing 58 games over 5 seasons, but a right knee injury in October of 2024 caused him to miss games and sapped his athleticism late in the season. He played through the injury during Oregon's playoff run, showing resilience. I like that. No major injuries were reported at South Carolina. Off the field, Burch is a high-character player, praised for his leadership and work ethic, earning team captain honors at Oregon in 2024. His transfer from South Carolina to Oregon sparked no reported issues, and his community involvement in Eugene, that's Eugene, Oregon, obviously, including youth clinics, reflects his maturity. No off-field concerns have been noted, though his age, 24 as a rookie, may concern some teams. The RAS is incomplete, 6'4", 279, but he did have a 4.67 40-yard dash, 33-inch arms. That's what I'm talking about. Draft projection. He projects as a 2nd to 3rd round pick in the 2025 NFL draft, aligning with his number 66 ranking on our PTA big board. His combine measurables, I won't read them again, and breakout 2024 season make him a fit for Green Bay's need for a versatile edge rusher to complement their defensive front. His ceiling is a high-end starter, akin to Keon White. If you guys remember him, I think he got drafted by New England, with scheme flexibility as a 4-3 end or a 3-4 outside linebacker, while his floor is a rotational pass rusher due to run defense inconsistencies and limited agility. The Packers visit, paired with his Senior Bowl withdrawal and combine performance, signals day 2 interest, though his knee injury recovery and pro day jumping numbers could impact his stock. He is the number 16 edge rusher on the PTA big board. And you look here, the latest mocks. Now you'll notice this is in February. Back in March, he was going as early as 32nd to the Eagles. Okay. Back in February, he was going 30th to the Bills. Back in January, people were dubbing him 19th to the Lions. That was Walter Football too. Charlie Campbell over at Walter Football. Now, April 14th, more recently, 3rd round by Lombardi Avenue, Freddie Boston. Sounds like an 80s rock star, don't it, Freddie Boston? Uh-huh. So April 14th, he went round 3 to the Packers. April 11th, he went round 4 to the Titans. Looks like the Cowboys over CBS, they had the Cowboys taking him in round 3 back on April 2nd. So you're seeing anywhere from he was early on a late 1st, and now it looks like he's settled in somewhere between the 3rd and 4th, which really does match up with where we got him on the board. Very interesting. So what do you guys think? Jordan Burch, parting thoughts before we move on to the next guy here.
I wouldn't be mad if we drafted him. I just wouldn't reach for him, in a nutshell. That's kind of how I feel. I don't think he's, a bad prospect. I think there's some little bit better talent at his position group in this draft. But like you said, if this guy's on the board, beyond round 3 or 4, I think you might seriously consider him, especially if you're looking to take an edge.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I just pulled up PFF's draft guide on him. Just his 4 main traits would be first step, balance and play strength, competitive toughness, and tackling. I love all those things. I mean, we need to be able to wrap up, finish tackling. We had a little bit of an issue with that on the line. I like that he can get his hands up, knock down passes. You got the frame of Preston Smith with probably the power sort of drive as Rashawn. That just some of the weaknesses, a little bit more pass rush plan, hands lack purpose, and lacks the bend to truly test that outside shoulder. I'm not mad really at any of those. I mean, let's train him up and get him to that. But right now, what he has is a frame kind of like LVN, but I would say maybe a little bit more pep to it.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we thought that maybe Goody was looking at Derek Harmon at the Oregon Pro Day. Turns out he may have been more interested in Jordan Burch than Derek Harmon. Now, again, he may not want to tip his hand with Derek Harmon. He might be all over Derek Harmon, right? But Jordan Burch definitely on the radar for the Packers with this top 30 visit. So, all right, let's move it along. Next player. I can already tell you I'm going to get tired of reading tonight. We're going to try to get a mock draft in at the end for sure. So, Packers reportedly schedule a top 30 visit with Colorado State wide receiver Torrey Horton. You guys know Jacob. This is his guy, right? Am I wrong, guys? Was he not?
No, This is for the beard right here for sure.
This is Rusty's girl right here.
Rusty Undercarriage's girl right here. So we got Torrey Horton out of Colorado State. Obviously, the Packers scheduled a top 30 visit with him, eyeing him as a dynamic playmaker in the 2025 NFL Draft, ranked number 108 on our PTA big board. Horton boasts a lean 6'2", 196-pound frame with elite speed and explosiveness, offering Green Bay a versatile weapon capable of stretching defenses, thriving in the slot or outside. Now, I wanted to go a different route with this one. A lot of these guys we're hearing, I think the past 4 or 5 that we've broken down in terms of top 30 visits, they were, through the roof coming out of high school, right? They were like 5-star recruits, 4-star recruits, 90 ratings. Let me say this real quick. iRock, I see you in the chat, buddy. Reach out to me. Email PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. It'd be easier to text 865-658-5824 so I can get your info and send you the autographed rookie Oladapo card that you won in the last giveaway, buddy. Appreciate you swinging through, man. So here's what I wanted to point out with this. This is from On3 here. Look at this. So he was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school with a 79.51. All right. 79.51 rate. So that's not very high, right? 3-star recruit. But notice where On3 had him as he was leaving college, like the college rating. 4-star with a 92.00. So we're looking at some of these athletes that come out of high school and they're highly touted. But when it comes to Torrey Horton, it sounds like he got way better in college. Or at least in some cases, you get these 3-star athletes and they're kind of slept on. And then they get to college, you go, holy cow, this dude was way better than we thought. So On3 kind of adjusts as they go through college, if that makes sense. So 3-star recruit from Washington High School in Fresno, California in the 2020 class. Horton earned a 79.51 grade from On3 ranking as the number, listen to this, 2,295th overall prospect nationally and the 114th athlete. At 6'2", 175, he showcased exceptional speed and ball skills, recording 62 receptions for 1,212 yards and 15 touchdowns as a senior, leading Washington to a California Central Section Division I playoff appearance. A multi-sport athlete, football, basketball, and track, his 4.45 40-yard dash and 38-inch vertical earned him all CIF Central Section honors. Horton committed to Nevada over offers from Northern Colorado, Montana, and Boise State, viewed as a raw but high upside talent with elite athleticism. All right, college statistics. Horton's 5-year college career across Nevada and Colorado State showcases consistent production with a standout 2023 season at Nevada from 2020 through 2021. In 2020, he played 9 games, catching 20 passes for 336 yards, but had 5 touchdowns. You'll notice the touchdowns is what really sticks out here. In 2021, he played 12 games, recording 52 receptions for 659 yards and 5 touchdowns. Transferring to Colorado State before the 2022 season, he played 12 games, hauling in 71 catches for 1,131 yards and 8 touchdowns, earning first-team All-Mountain West honors. In 2023 at Colorado State, he played 12 games, posting 96 receptions for 1,136 yards and 8 touchdowns, again earning first-team All-Mountain West. In 24 at Colorado State, a midseason knee injury limited him to 6 games where he recorded 26 receptions for 353 yards and a touchdown, earning second-team All-Mountain West. Career totals in college, 51 games, 265 receptions, 3,615 yards, 27 touchdowns, plus 12 rushes for 84 yards and 1 touchdown. So when you look at the PFF grades, starting in 2020, 70.5, 69.0, jumps to a 78.9. In 2023, he jumps all the way to an 87.9. And then, of course, the knee injury, it kind of comes back somewhat incomplete for 24, where he finished with an 82.3. I think there's a lot to like here. I think the beard's on one here, boys. I really do. You're muted, Emilio.
Yep, that's on me. I think so, too. The fact that he's still a second team All-American or, second team Mountain West Division playing on half the season. I mean, he was turning up for those 6 games. So I love to see that. I think that the beard is definitely onto something here.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he meets the thresholds, right? He's got the build that we're looking for at receiver. And I don't know. I think Jacob's on one. I agree. I mean, he's no Jaden Higgins, right? But
and he's no Emeka Egbuka. And who do you like, Emilio?
Right.
All right. Here we go. Here's the detailed scouting report from Dane Brugler himself. A 2-year starter at Colorado State, Horton was primarily an outside receiver on the right side of the formation in Jay Norvell's version of the air raid. After ranking top 5 in FBS and catches with 96 and first down grabs, he had 57 first down catches in 2023. He returned for his super senior season in 24, but played in just 5 games because of a right knee injury and fell 35 receiving yards shy of the Mountain West career record. He would have broke that record. Go ahead, Emilio.
I have a question.
On my knee.
That's exactly my question, Rogers. Are we putting the box on him, or what are we thinking? Are we hitting him with a red box this last year or no?
The way I look at it is they can have an injury and be free of the red box. I want to know the questions have been answered. And I'm pretty sure he's got a complete RAS, right?
Yep. Looks like Greg said a 983.
There you go. So let's run it by everybody. Personally, I don't think he needs it because that tells me he's good to go. I like red box that's saying, hey, had an injury, may not be completely healthy from.
Maybe didn't run, didn't complete in the combine, all that stuff. Okay, I like it.
Like Will Johnson's another one. Now, Will Johnson had his little private workout, and everybody's like, all right, we finally get to see Will Johnson run. He refused to run the 40. So everybody's like, what the hell? Keep the red box. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because he didn't kind of check that. So, but yeah, the fact that he would have had the Mountain West career record is wild if he hadn't got hurt. However, he will continue Colorado State's impressive run of producing pass-catching draft picks. So recently they had Trey McBride. I think he was a tight end. Olabisi Johnson, Michael Gallup, and Rashard Higgins. All right, Horton is field fast and flashes an explosive gear on downfield and crossing routes, 35 combined catches for 20 yards or more from 22 to 23 seasons, 7th most in the FBS. That's wild. So big, explosive top receiver. His ball skills and route timing can be disrupted by physical defensive backs, but his vertical speed will also open up comebacks, digs, and underneath routes. Or underneath runways, sorry. Overall, Horton must tighten his route running and get stronger, but his fluidity, speed, and natural tracking skills can be weaponized by the right coaching staff. He projects as a rotational Z receiver / punt returner who can gradually push for starting flanker reps. All right,
Did you say punt returner?
Hey, dude, when I hear that moving Z mentioned, you know that Matt LaFleur's ears perk up every time. Because the more guys you've got that can play F in his offense and understand the choice route, aspect of his offense, the more versatile you can be as an offense. Everybody just looking for that big jump ball guy stretch the field. That's not Matt LaFleur's offense. Yep. Are there times you need it and can use it? Absolutely. Anybody can. But that's not – Matt LaFleur ain't going out there and drawing up a play and go, all right, boys, right here, we're just going to chuck that son of a gun – 55 yards into triple coverage. I don't care what the coverage is. We're taking a shot here. Of course, he don't talk like that anyway, but you get the point, right.
Well, the fact that you could rotate flyers, I mean,
right.
Kind of like the hockey line on defense, but using a guy, all right, you have to run full speed across the line of scrimmage, 50 yards across before the snap. Then I want you to zipper back. Then I want you to do an orbit. All right, get you out. Jaden Reed, get in here, run 3 more of those. Then run a deep cross at the end of that, at the end of your motion. All that stuff could add up. So I love that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the more guys that can run those type of routes for us, the better we're going to be on offense. I mean, a defense can't, you can't really latch on to one player then in that situation.
Right.
That happened a little bit last year. I mean, you saw Reed in the flyer, and the defense kind of knew what was up. And sometimes that worked to our advantage because we use that, for deception purposes. Mm-hmm. And then you hit another open guy. But if you've got multiple guys capable of running plays like that, I mean, it might explain the top 30 visit. I'm sure Matt LaFleur was probably pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and the other thing too, if you go back to 2023, the reason we struggled opening the season there in that first quarter of the season was Jordan Love was trying to force the ball to Christian Watson. And the second he stopped trying to force it to Christian Watson, everything opened up. And then later on, Christian Watson becomes, way more open. You get those opportunities. So that can be it's good to have that dominant, big body, real fast receiver. Don't get me wrong. But if you try to just go to the well over and over and over and over, you're going to be playing from behind in a lot of cases for sure. So, all right, gliding. Here's his strengths. Gliding speed, probably stride length is the best way to describe it, right? And shows go and get it gear with 22.5 in-game miles per hour.
Wow.
That would be up. That that might be the fastest in the NFL last year recorded. Because it's like you get into 21, everybody in the top 10 is somewhere around 21 mile an hour. So someone do that for me real quick. If you can, do a quick Google search in the chat and find out who was the fastest recorded player in the 2024 NFL season in miles per hour. Can stack and separate vertically or sell double moves, shows healthy dose of crossers and over routes on film, and has feel for where to fit in the coverage, just finding those open spots. I love it. Able to flip his hips towards the ball and make smooth body adjustments or climb ladder on throws above the line of sight. Can start/stop in a blink to shake defenders after the catch, put more missed tackles on tape than expected. Offers value as a punt returner. He had 3 return touchdowns at Colorado State of 79, 78, and 72 yards. He averaged 16.3 yards per return, 26 attempts for 423 yards and 3 touchdowns. Had a passing touchdown. So he was 5 for 6 passing in his career for 151 yards and a touchdown with 1 interception. That's wild. 2-time team captain. Coach Norvell said, quote, "I've been around the kid for a long time, and he's made of the right stuff," end of quote. Set CSU single game record for receptions with 16 versus Colorado in 2023 and finished number 2 in career receiving yards with 3,615 both at Colorado State and in the Mountain West Conference. So what do we got a speed here from last year? Was it Cavante? Is that right? Yeah, Cavante Turpin of the Dallas Cowboys, 22.3 mile an hour. So if this mile per hour is correct, and Dane Brugler's not going to put it in his write-up if it's not true, Torrey Horton was clocked running faster than any ball carrier in the National Football League last year. That's pretty wild. So you may see a 4.440, but when you're talking game speed and mile per hour, it might kind of equate out to a 4.3 type look. So
love it.
Very interesting. All right, injury and character concerns. Horton has been relatively durable, playing 51 games over 5 seasons, but a right knee sprain in October of 24 at Colorado State forced him to miss 6 games and limited his explosiveness late in the season. He did not return for a bowl game due to the injury. No other major injuries were reported at Nevada or Colorado State. Off the field, Horton is a high-character leader, earning team captain honors in 23 and 24 at Colorado State. His transfer from Nevada to Colorado State was amicable. How would you say that? Amicable, right? Mm-hmm. That sounds right. We'll go with that. Driven by a desire for a new challenge, and he's been praised for his work ethic and mentorship of younger receivers. His community work in Fort Collins, including youth football camps, underscores his maturity. No off-field issues have been reported, though his age, 23, as a rookie, and lean frame may raise durability questions. And there's that RAS there, boys. Look at all that green across the board, man. 6'2", 196 pounds, a 37.5-inch vert with a 10.06 broad jump. Both of those proven to be a great explosion grade. 40-yard dash of 4.41, 20-yard split of 2.56, 10-yard split of 1.53. What I love about that is that's pretty even across the board when it comes to the 40. It's not like he's faster coming off the line as he is with top-end speed. When it's balanced like that and it's a good 40, that's what you want to see. His arm length at 30.6. Now the hand size at just 9 inches, little bit smaller than most receivers, but I don't think that's going to be a huge issue there for sure. No,
and according to PFF's draft guide, he has a real wide catch radius. So even with the small hands, slender frame, he has a huge catch radius and has really good and strong hands. Which I do like. And he said that he glides. Long strides help him cover ground even without – they're saying he doesn't have great speed, but I think they need to reevaluate a little bit. I think he does have kind of that top-ender in-game speed.
Nice. Draft projection, Torrey Horton projects as a 3rd to 5th round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, aligning with his 108 ranking on our PTA big board. Goes on to talk about the combine one last time there. Green Bay's need for speed threat to complement their young receiving core. His ceiling is a high-end wide receiver akin to Darnell Mooney, with the ability to stretch defenses in West Coast or spread offense, while his floor is a reliable wide receiver 3/4 due to his slight build and limited physicality. The Packers' visit paired with his strong combine performance signals day 2 or early day 3 interest, though his knee injury recovery and pro day agility drills could affect his stock. He is the number 22 wide receiver on our PTA big board. All right, so when you go down the line here. Back in February, he was considered a first-round pick according to Pro Football Focus in their mock drafts. Okay. Back in August, way back in August, he was considered a first-round pick, right, as the college football season was getting kicked off. Draft Countdown, same thing, first-round pick, right around the 31 spot. Bleacher Report back in July, so right before the season started, had him in the 30 spot. Sharp Football Analysis back in May had him going 28. Now let's get to the most recent. Actually, no, this is April of 24. They had him going as high as 7. DraftWire did.
Wow.
So that huge 23 season going into this year, he was a slam dunk first round pick. If he doesn't hurt that knee, that's the only thing holding him up. And then you see the testing. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden people see him even higher than a third round pick now. But the most recent mocks, here we go. April 15th, a Titans website had him going in the 4th round. The Draft Network, Justin Milo, April 14th, had him going in the 5th round. And then that same Titans site, but a different guy in Will Lomas, had him going in the 5th round as well. So you could see, Tim, there was times he was considered a first-round pick, and now it sounds like he's settling in somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th round, most likely.
Yeah, that seems to kind of be the major consensus. Personally, I like him 4th round or later, depending on how things stack up for us. But and him being a little bit leaner, that's not a big deal, right? We can take him to Kroll's, cheese curds and butter burgers on us, no worries. We'll add a little, 10 pounds real quick, no worries.
Get him some cannolis, man. We'll be good.
Yeah, cannolis for dessert. There you go. And then right to the weight room, right? Just cut it up right away. But I think the thing that Emilio brought up is really interesting to me is like despite the smaller hand size, the catch radius is insane. So it means that he's probably physical at the catch point and, extremely athletic in the air, pursuing that ball. So you talked about the insane amount of first down conversion catches that he had last year. I mean, this guy is, you're talking about a 3rd or 4th receiver on your depth chart. You can do a lot worse than Torrey Horton. So I just hope they don't reach for him. Like if we miss and we don't get anyone say earlier, I don't know if I'd take a 3rd round pick on him. There's a couple other guys I like a little more, but I still think Torrey Horton is fun to watch, man.
Yeah. Greg Rice says his draft number is all over the board. NFL mock draft database has him at 105, though. 7th pick on April and as late as round 5, which is pretty much what we just covered, right? So
right here, I just wanted to hit this. Coach was asking, is he a body catcher or is he more known to pluck the ball away from his frame? According to PFF, they have him as a true possession receiver. His hands are legitimate with a long catch radius. Helping him record 86th percentile contested catch rate and a catch percentage above 92% in each of the past 2 seasons. They said limited flexibility and acceleration, but has crazy quick feet and really great hands out of his release, coach. And they said that as an effective receiver is to get off press really well. So I like that as well. I mean, if we're going to put him outside, if you're not running just a flyer, hey, I do need you to be able to, run that fade ball, but sell it, pull the safety, run that crosser, run the tornado route, whatever we need you to do.
Definitely. H.E. Solder said the visits are matching up with what your board looks like down to around the 4th round. Nice job, guys. Appreciate it, Solder. Put a lot of work into it. And again, it's not like we're looking at the prospects. I don't want to send the misrepresentation of what the board is. We're not watching the prospects and going, yeah, we got a 4th rounder on him. We're taking in all of the sources, all of the information that we trust. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's covering the draft, but people that we go, okay, this dude's legit. That guy's a former scout. This guy's been watching NFL films since the 1970s. Let's really incorporate their opinion. People like Dane Brugler, who does just one heck of a job. So appreciate the kind words there, Solder. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot putting that board together.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper, in a way?
Notice I didn't mention Kiper, right? Go ahead.
That's it. I was telling you, though, every time I'd be listening to a pod and the name comes up, it's like, oh, I think pretty sure we had him around 104, 105. Right. And then the names get jumbled. I'm like, man, now we don't know the numbers, but I remember where they are. And it's just crazy to see.
It really is, man. All right. Anything else on Torrey Horton? Boys, we good?
No, I think we're good.
All right, let's move it along.
Jacob will cover some more on Torrey Horton when he comes back for sure.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He'll be like, I told you, boys, you don't listen to me. All right, let's go to another wide receiver. It was a top 30 visit, and then we're at the end. We're going to get into a mock draft, and tonight Emilio and Tim are going to call the shots. All right, I'm tired of getting abused all day. All right, so here we go. Ty Felton. I got to be honest. When I first started to dive into this Ty Felton breakdown, I wasn't that excited. I'm thinking, Ty Felton, just another guy, right? By the end of it, I was going, this guy's really interesting, really interesting. First of all, look at that picture right there. That poor bastard in the background. Look at that.
And the whole team chasing him down.
Pretty wild. All right, so here we go. We're talking about a top 30 visit with Maryland wide receiver Ty Felton, eyeing him as a dynamic playmaker in the 2025 NFL Draft. He's ranked number 131 on our PTA big board. Felton brings a wiry 6'1", 183-pound frame with elite speed and after-catch ability, offering Green Bay a versatile target, having played 204 snaps in the slot while logging 559 snaps out wide to complement their passing attack. Look at this. Once again, look at this poor guy trailing here on the ground. That's swimming in the turf, chasing Ty. Terrible. So here's the scouting report coming out of high school, and that is a high school shot right there, by the way. I love it. A 3-star recruit from Stonebridge High School in Ashburn, Virginia, in 2021 class, Ty Felton earned a 83.05 grade from On3 at 6'2", 170. He showcased explosive speed and hands, racking up 1,050 yards, 13 touchdowns as a sophomore. His track background, he ran an 11.2 second 100-meter dash there. Added burst, earning him first-team All-State honors despite an ACL tear his senior year. Felton committed to Maryland over offers from Nebraska, Pitt, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. That's some pretty big schools there for a 3-star recruit. Seen as a raw talent with big play potential. When you look at the PFF grades, guys, 21, 62.2, then a 62.0, then a 64.2, and then boom, in 2024, he jumps all the way to a 78. Again, notice the snaps. He played out wide 559 snaps, but kicked inside to the slot 204 snaps with a receiving grade of 80.2 his final year. College statistics. Felton's 4-year career at Maryland shows steady growth culminating in a breakout 2024 with 0 fumbles across his entire tenure. Emilio, he did not fumble one time in college, bro. That is wild. In 2021, he played 6 games, catching 5 passes for 51 yards. 22, he played 13 games with 23 receptions of 309 yards, 2 touchdowns. 23, he played 13 games, 48 catches, 723 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns, earning third-team All-Big Ten. And then in 2024, he played in 12 games, exploding for 96 receptions, 1,124 yards, and 9 touchdowns, setting a Maryland single-season receptions record and earning first-team All-Big Ten and third-team All-American honors. His career totals 44 games, 172 receptions, 2,207 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Like this little guy, by the way, man. Going up in High Point in the ball. Detailed scouting report entered in the draft. You guys got anything before I dive into that? Let me get me a drink. What's sticking out to you so far about Ty Felton?
Playmaker. Dude wants a ball in his hand. He wants to score. Obviously, it's Maryland, so you're not exactly sure on the competition, but the dude wants the ball and he wants to score. I love that. Got that high energy, high effort. Hey, I'll take that.
Yep, I agree. Another one kind of like Horton too. When you look at the build and stuff, get him some cheese curds, get him on the weight machine, and he'll grow into that NFL frame real nicely. Another kind of mid to late round pick right here that, again, you could do a lot worse. It's funny because I look at him and Horton kind of comparatively, and I can't make up my mind who I'd rather have, say, in the fourth or fifth round or something.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for hour 1, guys. The time got away from me here, man. This show is flying by. We're going to continue this talk on the other side for hour 2 for everybody on the pod. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We will continue the Ty Felton breakdown as the chat's going nuts over him right now. We'll see y'all in hour 2. Appreciate you.